Well, it's fun to sign autographs still for me. I don't sign that many. Some actors don't want to, but I prefer to. I like to collaborate. Sometimes you have to keep it to yourself, and people want to do their own thing. One thing that bugs me in comedy is when somebody does a fake cry, like they fake cry in a comedy. But in a drama they'll really cry. That bugs me. My parents were both actors, my dad sort of quite early on. My mother acted for a while, and now she's a painter. Money is power and power gives you choice. It's hard to make a good movie in 4 weeks. It's hard. I've done it, but it's not easy. I've done a lot of sorts of films that are under the radar. I've been in more than 20 movies. You just do the best you can and try to make a living. I'm originally from San Francisco. I might move there someday. But, I like LA. I have fun in LA. It's a fun town if you've got money in your pocket. It's a good town. I'm happy that I'm finally getting some lines in my face. I always looked too young for the kind of roles I wanted. It was constraining. My face didn't fit my innards until I reached 40. I used to break dance. I can do some good James Brown footwork. But now I think I've danced too much. My girlfriend made fun of me. Enough with the dancing. I think of myself as a journeyman actor. I've got some talent and I work hard, but people like Brando or Pacino, those people are touched by God. I think a lot of theater actors that were great, like Walken or Glenn Close, later became film actors. I saw things at an early age because my mom was a theater actress. I did a play with her when I was 10 years old. I grew up on films. I don't keep secrets from my parents, really, it's pretty open. I do everything I can to have a diverse career because I just want to have options. I know that I can do Hamlet or I can do Stanley Kowalski, I always do drama. It's just that some people laugh at it and some people cry. Hollywood constantly wants to label you and type you into a certain category. Oh, he's a comedy guy, or the weirdo character guy or the villain. After 40, you want to reverse the aging process. That's complicated for me because I spent so many years wanting to be older. You hit 41 and you don't burn calories like you used to. My parents were both actors, my dad sort of quite early on. My mother acted for a while, and now she's a painter. I've done so many independents for so many years. Leads that nobody's seen. I'm not going to just do a dumb zombie movie, although I love zombie movies. I was certainly naive about the judicial system in America. There's a lot of people who are in prison who are innocent. The system is very flawed. I think people are happier when they have structure, you know? You realize that as you get older, you have to have rituals and structure. I think any good actor is an anarchist. They have to be. I sometimes can't do movies just for the money. I really can't. I mean, I've tried. Believe me, I'd love to just take the money and run. I remember being very influenced by Taxi Driver, and also Tommy Lee Jones in Coal Miner's Daughter a little bit. I have memories of films that nobody ever saw, that I was very proud of, and those are still great memories. I have a constant sort of melancholy approach to acting that fuels me. I want to do everything. I had those kind of parents where I watched all of these very sophisticated movies, 5 Easy Pieces, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I had a great time with John Dugan. He's pretty amazing. I did some martial arts training for Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, since the character was an assassin. I copied everything I did in Galaxy Quest from Bill Paxton and Aliens. I owe him some credit. Good acting is good acting, however you learn it. Some people who haven't studied are amazing. Some people like Leonardo DiCaprio are naturally gifted. He's learned technique by working with people early on. An editor is like a painter. There is a magic in that. In theater you can't ad-lib, so you want to pick really good material, like David Mamet or Shakespeare or whatever. You want to be really careful about what you do. But in the movies, you do have more wiggle room. You do have more opportunities to improvise. It's fun to improvise, but I still think it's better to have a great script. It's hard to not get typed in Hollywood. They really want to type you. I'm trying to avoid that, because I want to do a lot of things. I know what I'm capable of. I forgive them because they don't know. They haven't seen me play Hamlet. They're not going to cast me as an English aristocrat. I'm going to have to prove that on my own. That's okay. That's what you have to fight for if you want to be an artist. You want to make a little money, and sometimes you want to play some really great parts. Sometimes they don't always coincide, or coexist. Sometimes you've got to do good parts for no money and, you know, I sometimes can't do movies just for the money. I really can't. I mean, I've tried. Believe me, I'd love to just take the money and run. That might just be part of the equation, but there has to be something there. You have to be somewhat creatively satisfied. Angelica Houston and Kelly MacDonald are both really special. Angelica has such a fresh point of view about acting and doesn't seem jaded at all. She seems more like a student, and yet she is a veteran actor who really brings it. Clark Gregg and I are around the same age. He has been an actor and is a writer. But with a first-time director, there is a way to talk about things they might not know. Because Clark was an actor, though, he knew more about the process than most first-time directors. I took a break after Confessions. I was real picky. And then I suddenly realized I hadn't worked in a year. And I was sort of, not really happy. I think people are happier when they have structure, you know? You realize that as you get older, you have to have rituals and structure. I try to steal from the best. Suck it all in. Taxi Driver is really a Bible for film actors, a master class. A lot of emotional power, a lot of emotional depth, but it's contained and you just see the tip of the iceberg. I've studied a technique called the Sanford-Meisner technique that teaches you how to focus. It's mainly about daydreaming. And the technique's really about imaginary circumstances. Using your imagination to sort of daydream about stuff. It makes you emotional in a scene.